Welcome to a new edition of the Engineering Quick Tips.
Hello there, this is Dave again, your Engineering Quick Tip Guide. Today I want to talk about pipe MAWP. That's MAWP is Maximum Allowable Working Pressure. And for those of you who aren't sure what pipe is, that's a cylindrical shaped material with a hole in the middle. So let's move on along. First thing we want to look at is read you just a few boring definitions. Maximum allowable stress according to B31.1 of ASME piping, pressure or power piping, is the maximum stress value that may be used in the design formulas for a given material and design temperature. That's maximum allowable stress. And you need that for the maximum allowable pressure, which according to B31.1 is the pressure at the coincident temperature to which a boiler or pressure vessel can be subjected without exceeding the maximum allowable stress of the material or pressure temperature rating of the equipment. And for B31.1, the term MAWP is defined in the boiler and pressure vessel code sections 1 and 8. Right? Now here's where it gets a little confusing when you get over to ABS and you start dealing with some vessel rules. In ABS, they use the words, the maximum allowable working pressure. All right, is the maximum pressure of the piping system determined in general by the weakest piping component in the system or by the relief valve setting. The maximum allowable working pressure is not to exceed the design pressure. Right? MAWP is not the same thing as the maximum allowable working pressure according to ABS. All right, so to kind of clarify that, we're talking about pressures here. You have an operating system or operating pressure in a system. All right, and that's your normal operating range, colored that green there. Start getting to the cautionary color here when you get to the maximum allowable working pressure according to ABS, which is the relief valve setting and 10% above the operating pressure. And sometimes 15%, or maybe a little bit different than that, but typically it's 10%. All right, and then above that, you have the MAWP. Now, according to ABS, they call this P, or the design pressure. All right, so when you see P in ABS documents, it's the maximum allowable working pressure that we're going to be talking about here. All right, let's get us over here to the Mr. Spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet, it has some basic instructions at the top, shows you some basic formulas at the bottom, and a few notes there. But basically, all you want to do is go in here and first select a corrosion factor. All right, and I will typically go in here and just use the 12.5% manufacturing allowance by ASME B31.1 or ANSI B31.1. All right, and when you hit select, it'll pop a value in here where you see that C based on the piping materials that's in there. All right, I'm gonna zero these things out because these are alternate materials that are not in my tables. If you want an alternate material that's not in my table, enter it in here and then select it with the button. Right, so let's go to the select allowable stress. We are going to look at carbon steel schedule 85-inch pipe, which would match the fire monitor discharge pipe that we had looked at on previous quick tips. So if you do that, hit that select button, little window pops up. We're going to look at A53 grade B ERW. You could use seamless as well. We're going to look at the ERW, which is 12,800 psi allowable stress, and that's carbon steel CS. The temperature there is that allowable stress is good all the way up to 650 degrees Fahrenheit. So hit the select button, then it pops in that information in your material, and it uses that allowable stress in here in your results as well. And that was step 3, and on to step 4, selecting the pipe. We said we wanted to use schedule 80, which in smaller pipe sizes such as 5-inch would be schedule extra strong. And there it is right there. OD 5.5, ID is 4.8, and the wall thickness is 0.375. And if you didn't want to use that, you wanted to use an alternate, whatever you type in those yellow cells would be here on the bottom. You would select that. We're going to select the 5-inch pipe. And there it is, 5-inch extra strong pipe. And your wall thickness is in here, and you got some metrics, metric units. All right. Pops all that information in the spreadsheet, and then it calculates the MAWP according to ABS and ANSI. And because we selected 12.5-inch or 12.5% manufacturing allowance, those two match. The equations are identical. All right. They don't look the same when you look at the literature, but when you go through the corrosion factors and the other factors, they are the same. And there you have it. The calculation for MAWP in an Excel spreadsheet, the XLSM version of Excel, because there's our macros in here. And you can download that at the engineering job link, engjobLink.com. Come see us anytime. All right. And that concludes our video for today. Don't forget to look at the video notes for a link to that spreadsheet that we've discussed here, and I will see you next time. This video was brought to you by the Engineering Job Link, where you can earn a dime from your spare time.